In the beginning, before time itself was measured, there was only a vast and dark ocean of chaos, known to the ancient Egyptians as none. This chaos represented the void and mystery that preceded creation. But then, something extraordinary happened. From the depths of this ocean arose a primordial mound, called Benben, the first piece of solid ground emerging from nothingness. At the top of this mound, a lotus flower bloomed, and from the heart of this flower emerged Ra, the sun god. With his emergence, Ra brought light and dispelled the darkness covering the world, becoming the center of creation. He was not only a deity but the personification of light, order, and the divine power that governed the universe. With his birth, chaos was replaced by a sacred order, and Ra became the first beacon of life for all beings, divine or mortal. After emerging from chaos, Ra realized he needed allies to sustain order and harmony in the newly created universe. Thus, he brought forth Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture and rain. These two gods, representing essential elements of nature, had a special connection with Ra, their creator. Ra sent Shu and Tefnut to explore the vast unknown, diving into the chaotic waters to establish the boundaries of the world. After some time, Shu and Tefnut returned, bringing stability to the universe and filling it with air and moisture. Ra, deeply moved upon their return, shed tears onto the sacred ground, and from these tears, the first humans emerged. In Egyptian mythology, this represented a profound bond between the gods and humanity, as humans were formed from Ra's emotion and compassion. This creation marked the beginning of a hierarchy and the organization of the cosmos. Ra stood at the top as the supreme god, but now he had children and humanity to govern and guide, establishing a bridge between the divine and the earthly. Soon, the family of gods continued to grow, and Geb, the god of the earth, and Nut, the goddess of the sky, emerged. As soon as they were born, they fell in love and became inseparable. However, their union threatened to compress the universe and suffocate creation. To prevent this, Ra decided to intervene, commanding Shu, the god of air, to keep Geb and Nut apart, forming a barrier between earth and sky. Shu obeyed Ra's command and lifted Nut, separating her from Geb. Nut then arched over Geb, forming the starry sky above the earth. In this scene, Ra assumed the title of the first pharaoh of the universe, governing with his authority over all beings and maintaining balance between the divine and mortal realms. This separation of Geb and Nut symbolized, for the ancient Egyptians, the essential balance for the world's existence. Nut, with her celestial arch, housed the sun, moon, and stars, creating the cycle of time. Geb, in turn, brought life to the surface with mountains, plants, and animals. Through Geb and Nut, the universe continued to expand and flourish with life, marking the beginning of the cycle of days and nights that governed Egypt and its civilization. With the universe in order and harmony maintained between Geb and Nut, Ra turned his attention to the land of Egypt. In an act of generosity, he granted the Egyptian people the Nile, the sacred river that would become the foundation of their civilization. With its regular floods and ebbs, the Nile fertilized the surrounding soil, allowing crops to grow and thrive. The river symbolized not only life but also divine blessing and the direct connection between Ra and his people. In addition to the Nile, Ra created and distributed sacred animals throughout Egypt, such as the bull, lion, and crocodile, which became symbols of strength, protection, and fertility. These animals were revered and associated with different aspects of nature and the gods. The Egyptian people built temples and altars dedicated to these creatures, embodying the gods' constant presence on earth. Around the Nile, the first villages began to form, marking the beginning of Egyptian civilization. Under Ra's light and guidance, Egypt flourished, and the river became a vital link between humanity and the divine, nourishing not only the body but also the spirituality and culture that blossomed along its banks. As civilization flourishes, Ra keeps a watchful eye on the universe's balance. Concerned about future generations of gods, he forbids Geb and Nut from having children, fearing that new deities could threaten his authority. However, Geb and Nut disobey, and from their union, for new deities are born: Isis, Nephthys, Seth, and Osiris, who would become central figures in Egyptian mythology. Each of these gods possesses unique qualities representing fundamental aspects of life and death. Isis, the goddess of magic and motherhood, is known for her compassion and wisdom. Osiris, her brother and husband, takes on the role of the god of life and fertility, bringing knowledge of agriculture and justice to humans, laying the foundations of Egyptian civilization. Together, Isis and Osiris become symbols of prosperity and benevolence. However, Seth, the god of the desert and destruction, looks upon Osiris's fertile and admired kingdom with envy. Living in an arid, barren region, Seth's jealousy grows, sparking a tension that will forever alter the balance among the gods. The rivalry between Seth and Osiris symbolizes the conflict between life and death, order and chaos, themes that would profoundly shape Egyptian culture. Seth's envy of Osiris grows over time, leading him to take drastic steps to seize his brother's throne. Known for his cunning and cruelty, Seth devises a meticulous plan to eliminate Osiris. He hosts a grand banquet, presenting a beautifully crafted sarcophagus, promising to give it to whomever fits perfectly inside. When Osiris, unsuspecting of Seth's intentions, lies down in the sarcophagus, Seth quickly seals it shut, locking him inside and casting it into the Nile's waters. Osiris's death plunges Egypt into sorrow and disorder. Isis, his faithful and devoted wife, mourns deeply, and her tears flood the Nile, causing the annual inundation that fertilizes the land. Determined to restore life and order, Isis embarks on a long journey to recover Osiris's body, traversing Egypt in a quest marked by grief and perseverance. After finding Osiris's body, Isis faces another blow. Seth, enraged by Isis's resilience, dismembers Osiris and scatters his parts across Egypt. With the help of Anubis, the god of mummification, Isis gathers each piece of Osiris, restoring him to life. Osiris is reborn, but as the lord of the underworld, where he will rule over the dead and judge souls, bringing justice to the afterlife. After Osiris's rebirth in the underworld, Isis and Osiris have a son, Horus, the falcon god, destined to avenge his father's death and restore order in Egypt. From a young age, Horus is taught the importance of justice, courage, and the responsibility he bears as heir to the throne. Upon reaching adulthood, Horus swears to confront Seth and reclaim the throne, initiating one of the most epic battles in Egyptian mythology. The struggle between Horus and Seth is intense and filled with transformations. In one of their battles, Horus transforms into a giant hippopotamus to face Seth, who also assumes various animal forms to evade him. The two fight for days, and in one encounter, Horus loses an eye. However, Hathor, the goddess of love and healing, restores his eye, which becomes a symbol of protection and healing, known as the Eye of Horus. With the support of Isis and other gods, Horus finally defeats Seth and is proclaimed the new pharaoh, the rightful ruler of Egypt. His victory not only represents the triumph of order over chaos, but also reinforces the importance of justice and balance, central values in Egyptian culture. With Horus on the throne, Egypt becomes a kingdom of peace and prosperity, honoring the legacy of Osiris. Egyptian mythology teaches us about the balance between order and chaos, life and death, and the importance of continual renewal to maintain harmony in the universe. From Ra to Osiris and Horus, we see how the cycle of life, death, and rebirth reflects not only in nature but also in the values deeply cherished by the Egyptians, such as justice, loyalty, and courage. These stories show us that even in the face of challenges and sacrifices, it is possible to restore order and move forward with dignity and respect. Horus's journey reminds us that determination and willpower are essential to winning battles, both external and internal. If you enjoyed learning about the gods of Egypt and want to see more content about mythology, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment below on other legends you'd like to see here. Together, let's explore the fascinating world of these narratives and the timeless lessons they offer.